That'll happen.
Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by
Yo, everybody, it's
DrRoto.com.
So let's get to it. Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Oh, yeah. It's a new year. It's the first Fight Club of Pain of the new year. How you doing today, Dan?
Doing good, man. Feeling good.
That's good. Man, we are 15 minutes late starting because we had great technical difficulties with the StreamYard stuff. So sorry for everybody that's going to be popping in, running in, getting ready, getting wild. Man, but there's always something that's trying to come at us, Dan. It's always trying to stop the Fight Club of Pain. If it ain't FanDuel or DraftKings, it's StreamYard.
Yeah, it's something. It's always something, man.
What's up, Steve? How you doing today, man? You ready to win some money this weekend? You ready for another Ultra Contrarian show, bro? Man, I'm ready.
What's going on, Steve?
So of course, as everybody knows, the Fight Club of Pain covers the UFC. Yes, we will be talking about UFC 324, but we are covering, as you can see, the 2026 NFL playoffs. That will include this year's Fantasy Football 2026 awards. I will give out my awards, my picks, and the reasons why I feel that these players got it. Short and sweet. I'm also going to give my top 5 for each position in best ball. I will give out. Yeah, I know, right, Steve? I will give out my defense top 5 for best ball so that you have at least a chance for, the DFS slates on that end as well. So you get your defense now, and then, of course, the Ultra Contrarian show. You'll have to catch that with Steve and I so that you can get the actual lineups. So I'm not going to be giving out any lineups in this. I will be giving out bets. I will only give out 3 parlays and those bets, of course. So you will get 18 bets for this show. I will also be giving out my bracket for the entire. I thought about waiting, but I will give out my bracket for the entire playoff scenario to see who's going to win the Super Bowl. Dan,
I got my bracket too. Brother.
Yeah, no, man, you Raven and Steeler fans is getting in it, but John Harbaugh being fired, Dan, did he deserve it?
Hell no, he's one of the best coaches in the league, man. As much as I hate the Steelers playing against him, he is a great coach. What's going on, Tillman?
What's up, Tillman? I agree. I think it was like, I saw one of the brand, was it Benchwarmer brand made a thing, and he was doing the Grim Reapers, the coach's graveyard, and he was like, all right, who's getting picks, right? And he gets to John Harbaugh, and he goes, wait a minute, you're not axed yet. He was like, well, I'm axed now. And then he did Mike McDaniel, and he was like, he went back to John Harbaugh, and he goes, why am I getting a call from Miami? And then he goes back to the other guy. Dude, Harbaugh, there's speculation that he'll end up in New York. And now that we have Miami open, I mean, I know that you may have not looked at the 8 teams that are open. I mean, Vegas is open.
Cleveland.
Where do you think he goes? Cleveland?
I think he goes. Yeah, his parents are from Cleveland.
You know what? I've been listening to the radio all day, and I've not heard somebody say that.
His parents live in Cleveland. His parents go to Cleveland Browns games every year. Why wouldn't he coach for that team?
That is actually it. Plus, he's stepping into a learning curve with Shadur. He still has Deshaun Watson on the roster. He's got 2 star running backs. Well, you could say 1 star Judkins. You have Sampson. Both complement each other well. You have you have a great wide receiver core. Now, I'm not going to say great. Okay, let me just rephrase that. And you have a wide receiver core that can improve in the offseason. But Tillman fell flat. Your tight ends are perfect. They could let Njoku go, and you have one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Right?
I mean, one good trade.
Think about it. It makes sense for him to end up in Cleveland.
And what if he brought in somebody like Tyreek Hill? Then
I think he runs with Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to lie to you.
I agree with the Deshaun Watson pick. It'll be Deshaun Watson, Quinshawn Junkins, and it's going to be Tyreek Hill in Cleveland. People are like, what's this guy talking about? I'm saying that that's a possibility if Harbaugh goes. He's going to know that team's going to need a number one wide receiver, and he'll probably get Tyreek Hill really cheap. I know he's coming off an injury, but he'll be fine. He'll be good, but you can slot him in, and then you still have Judy there. Judy's definitely a veteran, definitely good. So if you had Tyreek Hill, Judy, Fannin, whatever you do with Njoku, Sampson, Junkins, Watson, Sanders learning, I think that's a perfect setup for John Harbaugh. I
I
love it.
think it happens.
What's funny is Jeff was talking. He goes, Tomlin's going to get fired after this week, and then he's going to get hired by the Ravens, and then the Ravens.
We're gonna hire Harbaugh.
You're going to hire Harbaugh.
We're gonna switch coaches. Switch coaches.
Yeah, just trade coaches. They didn't have to go through this game. They could have literally just traded the coaches and just been about their way. I like it though. It's a funny little thing. But now when you see Mike McDaniel get fired, and it was funny because I think I just seen it about a day or two ago. He was like, "Yeah, man, we're about to turn this ship around. We're going to be great." And I'm like,
Well,
huh?
I,
And then
my
he's
thing
gone.
my thing about him, I think Arthur Smith is going to be the new head coach of the Titans because they're calling Pittsburgh about him right now.
Yeah.
I also think Mike McDaniel is the Steelers' next offensive coordinator.
Ooh. Oh, I like that. I like that. But there's after maybe who just fired their offensive coordinator. Well, the Lions did. So the Lions also need somebody there. So I could see McDaniels going to Detroit as well too. But I do like your theory too. So I like all of that. I think it's great for McDaniels to step back and then do that and then come in. I mean, Fuego Steve, if you're in there and you got an idea about that too, being on one of the staff members at Dr. Roto, what do you think about that? I mean, that is crazy. It's all about it's all about live
Right.
Mike. What's up? Yeah, he's got the
Going on, Rob, Mike.
Yeah. So of course we're gonna have some fun with this today. So we're gonna go through the entire card. It was kind of back and forth because I didn't want to give all of you what we're gonna do in 2 weeks on the Fight Club of Pain. And I think that's fair. But at the same time, we can still talk a little bit about these fights and everything. What's up, Franish Amun? Whatever it is. We'll just call you Simpson.
What's up, Simpson?
Oh, look at this.
Go Pack, go! Hey, I agree, bro. I agree. I want to see a Steelers Packers Super Bowl.
Okay, come on now. You guys are trying to have this Aaron Rodgers. You know how much people would hate that to happen? Everybody would hate that to happen. They were like, Rodgers beats the Steelers. Rodgers takes the Steelers and beats the Packers. Oh, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You can't be doing this stuff. That would be killer. But then your team would lose, and you would be like, nah, man, screw Aaron Rodgers. Unless you still like Rodgers.
Yeah, but they still win because Aaron Rodgers is still that team's quarterback, man. He's if you think Aaron Rodgers, you think of the Packers.
Yeah. Dude, okay, so could you imagine how vomiting it would become, how nauseated you would become hearing that storyline for 2 weeks?
I'm a Steeler fan. I would love it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I agree, man. That would be. I mean, there is a way, and I am also going to be giving out my pick. So you know what?
I'm giving out. That's not my pick. I'm just saying that would be a good thing. I would enjoy that ride.
Well, let's start it up with some picks. Let's just get right into it. Of course, we'll have the best ball. I'll have the bets too. So everybody just stay right in there and get it in. So let's go first game that we're going to cover or talk about. Chargers versus Patriots in New England. Who do you have winning, and is there a reason for it?
I got the Patriots beating the Chargers, man. I don't think that Chargers defense has what it takes to stop the Patriots offense.
All right. And that is fair. I'll say that I'm not going to be one of the guys to go pick on the Patriots schedule and everything like that. Right now, I'm going to look at the teams. The Patriots defense was one of the better defenses all year long. However, the Chargers defense has been amazing all year long. When I did my last week when I did my top defenses article, the Chargers were ranked 4th in the leagues, of course, against yards against. New England is 7th. So this game is going to be one of those games that's going to knuckle down, be hard to get through. I could see a 20-16 game. This could be
Yeah.
a 20-16 game.
Yeah, I'm saying 17-14.
17-14. That's about it. Right now, we're gonna go check out. We're gonna go check the number on that too, because I like to do everything kind of crazy. I mean, as you can see, we're gonna start with the Chargers. We're not starting with the Rams. I don't want to start with the Rams. The Rams start the weekend, go Rams, and the Steelers end the weekend, go Steelers. So they're saying the 46.5. So I've got the game right now. What I just said was 20-16. That's 36 points. They think another 10 points is scored in this game. So if I'm going to go with that, I'm going to probably go 24-20. I still think that this game goes under. Do you think it goes under the 46.5?
I think it goes under, yes.
I agree with that 100% as well too, because I mean, these are the two of the top 7 well, this is of course going into week 18. So after week 18, some of this may have changed. So I haven't updated my stats yet because, well, it just ended and I'm done. So I'm just focusing on the best ball, the UFC, and the DFS. So these numbers that I'm gonna be going off of that I just went off of were the after week 17, what I had posted to the site last Friday. So that being said, I think it goes under. And my pick is actually the Chargers. And this will all come to fruition. The reason being is Chargers move on. Chargers most likely could end up going to Denver. Now, if the Chargers go to Denver, that's a divisional game. This is something that's going. That's kind of the idea I'm kind of going with my bracket. So there's a little story to it. But I feel that I don't want to take anything away from New England, but I feel that the Chargers defense can lock them down good enough. I think the Chargers linebackers are good enough and aggressive enough to be able to take both Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper out of the game. I know that people talk about the running game of Ramondre Stevenson and, of course, rookie sensation Travion Henderson, but I just don't think they're going to be able to consistently run against that defense. Again, there's been a lot of people that have been covered on that defense all season long.
You're forgetting about one person. You're forgetting about the MVP, Drake May.
Dude,
MVP of the league.
It's going to be Matt Stafford, bro. It's going to be Matt Stafford. He's MVP.
It's going to be Drake May. It's going to be Drake May. Stafford lost it against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree. You said that last week too, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But being a Rams homer fan and then still looking at that 109 quarterback ranking, for me, it's still I'm going to lean Stafford.
I hope it's Stafford. Don't get me wrong. I hope it's Stafford. I don't like the Patriots. I'm a Steelers fan.
I know.
But that kid is good, man. That kid is good.
He is good, and I think that he can definitely beat the Chargers. This is one of the upsets that I'm going to take right now because for me, with the Chargers being able, Herbert can move the ball. I know people can talk about it. They have 2 great running backs too, and New England has again. They're only in the top 10 because of their cake schedule. They literally had an easy schedule. So I will use that now because if they actually played the schedule like the Chargers, if they actually had to play a team they played the Bills twice, all right? We know that.
They lost to Pittsburgh. They
did. They did. And the Chargers had to put up with the Chiefs. The Chargers had to put up, until, Mahomes went down, but they still had to put up with them. They had to put up with Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, and nobody really cares about the Raiders. But regardless, whatever. When you look at the strength of schedule, they've just been more battle tested. So for me, when I look at a game that's going to be close, a defensive game that's going to be close, and I still like the secondary in the Chargers to be able to handle the secondary for the New England Patriots, because again, a lot of them are inexperienced other than Diggs. So for me, I'm with it. I'm picking the Chargers, bro. That's how
I'm
I'm
going.
doing it.
I'm going Pats.
All right. Let's flip over to the NFC because we're going to do this. I want to make it to where it's kind of like Rams and Pittsburgh last. So Green Bay versus Chicago. I know Packer fan Iowa is going to be waiting for this game. Dude, who do you got winning?
I got Green Bay going into Chicago and stopping their season, man. I got Green Bay winning that game.
And I agree with you as well, too. I agree with you because I feel that Chicago, although being one of the better offenses this year and having a great solid defense, the Packers defense fell apart the minute Micah Parsons went down.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at a game that's possibly become a shootout. Now, Chicago does have a great secondary, but honestly, there's so many people to guard for the Packers. Reed, Watson, you got Dobbs, then you got Wicks out the backfield. They do like to throw the ball to Jacobs. Jacobs is a threat to run the ball. And
Yes,
the
sir.
Bears aren't really one of the best defenses against stopping that run. So for me, I'm going to look at that. Like, dude, I can go through this thing, and I haven't wrote the Chicago Bears on my top defense all year long. Well, yeah, especially the last few weeks. So at the same time, when you look at that, Jacobs becomes a factor. Now, Jacobs had two pitiful games against the Bears. I think one was like maybe 5.6 on DK or whatever scoring format is, and maybe the other one was like 6 or 7 or 8. The thing is the Bears still have to respect Josh Jacobs, and the Packers are still going to give Josh Jacobs the ball.
Yeah.
Do you agree with a lot of that? And where do you think it could go?
I do, but I trust Green Bay's quarterback Jordan Love more than I trust Williams at this point in their careers, man. I don't think Williams has the experience to win in the playoffs. I really don't. It's a different animal to play in the playoffs.
It is, and I think it's so at times, even though how gifted Williams is, I see sometimes I don't see emotion. But with Love, I do see that sometimes. And I do agree with your analysis of Love, how he's the more seasoned. He just should. He's been in this situation. So now he just needs to push it forward. And I love the way that the Packers are going to be able to spread that ball around. So therefore, they're coming in. They've been a little they've got some rest on their team. I feel that they're going to come in and win this game.
I do too, man.
That and a lot of people look at that as an upset, and I look at it as, the Bears got lucky on a few wins. This could have very well been the Packers division. So for me, that's how we're going to go. All right, let's stay in the NFC. Let's drop down to one of the hardest games to predict this week, and that is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. Dan, who do you got winning this game?
This is one of those games that's hard to pick, man, but you cannot bet against the man that played in 2 Super Bowls back to back. Jalen Hurts makes it happen in the playoffs, man. I got Philadelphia winning.
So I do agree with that, and I'm going to pick the San Francisco 49ers because I feel that outside of last game with Purdy, which Purdy and them, they just had a bad game against a very good Seattle defense. I mean, I've seen that happen to other players too this year, but I think this game becomes down to Christian McCaffrey. Can the Eagles consistently stop Christian McCaffrey? Now, you could ask that about the 49ers.
Can Philly or can San Francisco stop, Saquon Barkley himself? So
can they stop the tush push? That's
no one
another
can.
thing.
You can't.
So, that being said, I like where you're going with that because this is going to be another dread game. This is going to be another trench runner. This is going to be another game that's going to be one, at the offensive line. We have a point total of 44.5. So that's right there, a 24-20 game. I actually think that's a great score for this game right here. I can easily, so when I look at it, all right, so I will give you this. I'm a point guy, and I think the 49ers would kick 2 field goals. So then that would automatically say that the 49ers score 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. The 49ers have 20 points. The Eagles, I always feel that they can score more. That'll give you the 24 points. The way I'm going to look at the addition, the Eagles are going to win that game. However, I feel that this game's going to slow down and that Kittle's going to be a problem and that the 49ers are going to be able to beat them in the end through how much Christian McCaffrey gets the ball in this game. And I think that they definitely want to move on. And I know that the NFC West was one of the best divisions all year long. So all three of those teams can win the Super Bowl, and all three of those teams have played each other and are all battle tested. So that's why I'm taking, and I'm not saying the Eagles aren't battle tested, but
this might be year 3 for them in the Super Bowl. We never know. So
you're right.
I can't go against the team that won the same team. I mean, they lost
champions.
They lost very few players. Super Bowl champs, man. I can't go against them. I think Philly moves on.
Yep. Hey, I love it. I'm just going with the 49ers just because I feel that that's it. And I'm done with the Eagles, and I don't want to see the Eagles and the Rams again. Don't mind me. But that's what it I honestly think the Rams do beat the Eagles if they do end up facing the Eagles. I think that this time the Eagles they are not going to be able to stop that passing offense. Sean McVay is right now clicking on all cylinders with his play calling. The only thing that really seems to stop the Rams is pick sixes, interceptions in the red zone, and of course, those games that Stafford has had, those games that where he's thrown multiple interceptions. Carolina, who they face this week, he had that game against them as well too, and we were close to winning that game. Same way with Seattle. Seattle was able to pick him off, and they were able to beat him. That's how the Rams lost the number one position and the ability to not have a week off. So, for me, that's the way we're going to go with that. But let's get. You got anything else to say about this game before we go on?
No. This is probably the toughest game to pick in this weekend.
I agree. I did not want to pick that, and I know my buddy Keith is like, I don't even want to. He goes, I know we're going to end up facing the Niners or the Rams, and I don't want to face either one of them. So that's kind of what my thing is where I'm looking at. Where, hey, I'm looking at people. Eagles fans are scared. There's a reason why San Francisco could lose, but I think that overall that they might be able to outlast the Eagles and send that boring ass team home, regardless of how many times they've been to the Super Bowl. I know you want your Steagles Super Bowl, man. I know.
Actually, I don't. I got a good Super Bowl pick, man.
All right. Well, let's move along. Let's flip back to the AFC. Buffalo versus Jaguars. Who do you got winning?
I got Buffalo going in there and just ragdolling the Jags, man. I think it's Josh Allen's time to show what he's worth because he has nobody else in the playoffs right now. He is the big name in the AFC.
That right there alone is exactly why I have the Bills winning this game as well too. Now people go, look, we're looking at 2 top 10 defenses again, right? People know like the Bills have been getting tore up a little bit, but remember people, the Bills also faced some really good opponents. They had to face New England twice and they got them. They split that. They also faced the Eagles. So, that right there, and they could have won that game. They could have tied that game, or they could have won with the 2-point conversion. They ended up losing, but that game alone showed that you could have a disastrous game, like Josh Allen could have a disastrous game, and the team's still in it to try to win that game. And I think that defense is going to be able to lock up the Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence. Oh, yeah. What do you think about the way? Do you like the way that the? Go on.
I think if you rattle Trevor Lawrence, then he goes back to his real self and starts throwing the interceptions and fumbling and making bad decisions with the ball. You have to rattle that man. You have to make him scared in the pocket.
I agree with that as well too. I want to say that they need to figure out what they want to do with Travis Etienne because sometimes they want to run him. sometimes they want to throw him the ball. If they throw him the ball, I feel that they have a chance against Buffalo. Now, Buffalo's run defense has been a little porous. There's been a lot of running backs that have been able to get off on them, which is why I think ATN can be a key in this game. But I feel that they're going to try to exploit him in the running game, and then they're going to try to go to the other guys. And what might happen is that they're going to make the wrong decisions, and the Bills are going to be able to rattle Lawrence and get to him. And then the Josh Allen factor. I also think, too, here's a thing, and a lot of people are forgetting about this. He's been using Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm.
He's been using Brandon Cooks. He's been getting a lot of he's been getting targets now. And it's almost like because he's a veteran, Josh is trusting him. Have you seen a little bit of that as well, too?
Yeah, I mean, Cooks is a bad man. We got to give him his flowers right now. He's a bad man, but I don't know. They've been using him the last few games any way they can.
Yeah, and he made a great sideline catch as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another too. And they kind of played around with Keon Coleman, but the problem is Coleman reminds me of Pickens. You know, a couple of years ago when Pickens was kind of like still trying to figure out how to make those catches on the sideline, those NFL throws. So I feel that and I like Keon Coleman, but for me, I'm going to go with the veteran. You got Shakir over the middle already. You can move those. You can both move Cooks and Shakir in and out. Nobody ever knows what's going on with Dalton Kincaid, but Knox fills in just perfectly. So I agree with you 100% that the Buffalo Bills win this game. All right, let's get to the next. Let's get to the next two games. We'll go with the Rams first. They start with the week. Rams versus Carolina. Who do you got winning?
Man, I got the Rams going in there and just pouncing on the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers deserve to be in the playoffs. I think they just snuck in. They're literally the worst team in the playoffs, and the Rams kind of get a layup this week.
I think they do. This might be the easiest game to pick because the Rams have seen them. The Rams would have beat them. Of course, I know people. Hey, Panthers won. If Stafford has that same game again and the Rams lose, then they deserve that. They deserve that because right now they're clearly wide open, going to blow them out.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nothing else I can say. The Rams are. I think the Rams win by like 2 touchdowns.
So, and here's the game is marked 46.5. So for me, I'm going Rams 27. And Panthers 20. Rams win by a touchdown. Rams are up 27-13 in the fourth quarter when Carolina makes a drive, gets the touchdown, kicks it back to the Rams. Rams ball control, kill the clock, end of game.
They get a garbage time touchdown.
Yeah. They're trying to make the game close.
Yeah, they get the garbage time touchdown. Gotcha.
That's what I'm going to give it on that one. So, I mean, I'm going to say, like, the Rams running game already proved it can run. And Devontae Adams is coming back. He's fresh. He looked good in warm-ups. They kept him out of that for the playoffs. That's why that extra week would have worked so well. So he's going to come in here, and the Rams are going to be clicking on all cylinders. They also were able to check out Mumfield and Smith. Both stepped up big time. Tutu Atwell dropping a long ball that he could have scored with. And
they got the best receiver in the league, man. You got Puka Nacua. Best receiver in the league.
Puka! Yeah.
When you talk about the best, you have to be the cream to the rise to the top. And the Puka, ooh, is the man.
I love it, man. I didn't even going to talk about this game much because we already know Rams are winning. I gave you the pick. We got you. Texans versus Steeler in the Steel City on Monday night. You guys have never lost a Monday night game under Cowher or Tomlin. Is this the first time you guys lose?
No, I think Houston comes in here thinking they're just going to whoop us with that defense. But Aaron Rodgers is playing on another level these last couple games. He hasn't had DK Metcalf. We get DK back. The only person we're missing is Mount Washington in the middle. But We still got Fryermuth. We still got Smith.
Yep.
I don't know, and that Houston defense gets picked apart by a lot of tight ends.
Yeah.
So,
Go on.
and I don't see any linebacker that Houston has that could cover Gainwell. So
Yeah, that's going to be, of course, the key. Here's another thing: Jalen Warren missed practice today because he was feeling sick again.
yeah,
Now we're getting a rebuttal of that. Now he has till Monday. He'll play. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to be jacked up and all that stuff by Monday. This is the lowest point total of the entire weekend. Well, I mean, it's Monday, so we're just going to still say it's wild card weekend, right? 38.5. Where do you think the points fall?
I think that's about right. I think it's about right.
2017, right?
Yeah, about 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah. That's and people forget that now TJ Watt is back. He was, he's still recovering. That game last against the Ravens, you're chasing Lamar Jackson. You're going to look slow. So
he had an interception.
He did. Oh, dude, that was so beautiful. I was like, woo!
He had an interception. And I don't think that offensive line of Houston, man, Cam Hayward is playing out of his mind right now.
I can't. Okay, I highlighted Cam Hayward on my IDP pickup weeks ago. Yeah. And I said, if you need a player, a defensive tackle that may not get all the sacks that you want, but constantly gets tackles, then Cam Hayward is the guy for you. And I literally said that. I mean, how amazing has he been playing the last few weeks?
Yeah, he's been playing crazy. Did you see him chasing Lamar or what's his face? That first run of the game last week?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I thought he got hurt because he got rolled up on, but he was like the dude trying to catch him.
I thought he was going to catch him. I thought he was going to catch him.
If Derrick Henry would have got caught by Cam Hayward, I think Derrick Henry would have had some problems that day. Because I'm like, what are you like, dude? You are correct. But check this out, people. Right? So over the past, now, if you want to go fantasy football, you go fantasy football playoffs. Week 15, 5 tackles, 1 sack. Week 16, 4 tackles, 1 sack. What would be your Super Bowl? 5 tackles in the game against Baltimore. He had 7 tackles. That's 7, 5, 4, 5, 5, 8, 3, 5, 6. I suggested him before that 8 because of this reason. And the fact that you brought him up and how he's been playing exactly shows sometimes how hot streaks and the numbers collide.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing out of his mind. Alex Highsmith's been playing at a high level too these last couple games. I don't know. The only thing I'm scared about is that secondary, but I heard Deshaun Elliott's coming back. If Deshaun Elliott's back, I got no worries at all with that secondary. And we got the best lockdown corner in the league at JPJ Jr. JPJ is the best. But by Pro Football Focus, he is the best lockdown corner in the league.
I like that. I like that a lot, man. And that thing. Now you're making me go check up Elliott. We're gonna see. I mean, right now it says he's out for season though. It says he's out for season. So unless, and I don't see any news, but if there's speculation I haven't caught yet, then maybe he'll come back.
He's tweeting stuff out and everything like. He had a picture of himself on the football field and it said, "Wait till Monday."
There it is. And right now, as it stands, like I said, the stats have it like this. This is what they got him. But you know what? This is why players play the game. And a player like Deshaun Elliott, one of my favorite safeties in the league for the past few seasons, recommended safety. That is exactly the guy that you guys need to get back. However, you're picking the Steelers.
Oh, I'm picking the Steelers, man. I can't pick against them. It's in Pittsburgh on a Monday night. It's our first home playoff game in front of fans since 2018. That place is going to be nuts.
I agree with that. Unfortunately, I'm a tune, and I'm picking the Houston Texans.
Well,
I want
I take my pick back. The Panthers are going to beat the Rams. Then I'm just messing with you.
look, there is a pathway for the Steelers. The Steelers can definitely cause problems for CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud, honestly, isn't one of those quarterbacks like Josh Allen that's going to beat you. So that alone gives the Steelers a chance. The fact they're at home and everything, bringing it in. This was a really hard pick for me because I feel like if I pick the Steelers, they're going to lose. Every time I picked the Steelers in the last 8 games, they lost. Every time I picked against the Steelers, they won. So, in a little way,
I'm glad you're picking against them. I'm glad you're
that's
picking
what I'm
against
saying. I'm going to pick against them. I'm going to look at the Houston Texans, and I'm going to pick against them. Did you? So you filled out your entire bracket, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So then the next matchup we got going on is, let's say, and people, this could be all speculation with seeding. Chargers versus Denver.
Yeah. Well, I got Buffalo versus Denver because I had the Chargers losing.
Okay. All right. So you got Buffalo versus Denver. All right. So who do you got winning between Buffalo and Denver?
I got Buffalo beating Denver, and I think Buffalo goes on. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, if it goes, I don't think I think they reseed. So if you guys did win, then you guys would go to the Broncos, but we'll just play it off.
Well, oh, yeah. We would go to the Broncos. They would go to the Patriots. That's right.
Yep.
I actually have that. I actually have that written down. Never mind.
But regardless, this is how we're going to get there. It's kind of funny you said that, though, because honestly, that little matchup you have, that's what I have in the AFC Championship game. I do have the Bills and the Broncos making it. I have the Bills beating the Houston Texans. I have the Broncos beating the Chargers, therefore setting up Denver versus the Bills. We'll just finish the AFC right now. Who are the other picks you had?
All right, so I got Buffalo beating the Patriots, and I got the Steelers beating Denver. And I think it's going to be Buffalo and Pittsburgh for the AFC Championship.
Okay, and who wins?
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl, man.
You want to hear that scene? Here we go. Steelers. Here we go.
None of these teams in the AFC scare me this year.
I mean, Bills are pretty scary, but they are not untouchable.
Yeah, we won't have to play them now.
Yeah. If they get beat, they're out. So I got Denver and Buffalo, as I said. I have the Bills going to the Super Bowl for the AFC. Just kind of the way it was set. You said it earlier. It's going to be hard to beat Josh Allen. I respect the Steelers going too. A lot of these AFC teams, if you look at these 7 AFC teams, every one of them has been in the top 10 multiple weeks on my rankings at drroto.com. So it's, I mean, other than the Steelers are the only one. Let me get that wrong. But the Steelers going into the year were one of the highly touted defenses.
What about the Panthers? Panthers that weren't on your list, right?
No, they were. They're up.
They were in your top. They were in your top 10.
They're not in the top 10. The Panthers are. I think they missed it. No, they're 15th. They're 15th. So as of week 17, total yards against, the Panthers were the 15th ranked defense. So that's not bad. So this is what I'm saying. Buffalo, New England, Chargers, Broncos, Texans. They're all there. So that's again. And what's even crazier is even though Green Bay fell apart at the end of the year, they only fell down to 11th place. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are 12th.
Yeah. So
again, when you look at the top 20, you got a lot of these defenses, and a lot of these defenses are in the AFC. So that's why that's perfect for Pittsburgh. That's perfect for you guys. I will agree with you there. I will agree with that 100%. Although I just think Josh Allen would be, oh man, that dude's a lot sometimes. But if that's the AFC Championship, Pittsburgh and Buffalo, you know it's in Pittsburgh, right?
You
Yep,
know it's in Pittsburgh.
it's in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So, oh man, I love it. Yeah, that place would be freaking nuts. But I'll
Yeah,
give it to you. I like it. We seem to have gotten the Bills to the AFC Championship. So
yeah,
everybody out
yeah.
there, this is going to help with your best ball strategies. Again, when I get to the best ball strategy, we'll talk about that a little bit. But let's move along to the NFC. All right, so I have San Francisco and LA meeting up, and Seattle versus Green Bay, but you have a different approach because you took the Eagles.
Yeah. So
Give me your
I got Seattle and Green Bay playing.
yep,
So I think the Seahawks are going to beat Green Bay,
yep, yep.
and I think the Rams beat Philadelphia. So
Okay,
I got a Seahawks Rams NFC Championship game.
and so do I. I think honestly, the Seahawks and the Rams are the best teams in the NFC, and this is going to come down to a third game for them. So because I picked San Francisco, I have the Rams going through San Francisco and Seattle. I have the Bills and the Rams in the Super Bowl. So that
I got the Seahawks and the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
oh, you want that rematch from was it 2006?
That was Super Bowl XL. This is Super Bowl LX.
Oh man. You're trying to get all those conspiracy theories going with this flip of the LX. If that happens and you guys somehow win again with some weird catch by Calvin Austin, better not be MBS. Then I'll be like, all right, wow,
Well,
that
that
was that.
well that was the Super Bowl that what's his name threw the pass to Hines Ward,
Yeah.
the receiver.
Oh, you're talking about it
And
wasn't Roethlisberger. It
no, it
was
wasn't Roethlisberger. It was the receiver, Randall Antoine
Randy
Randall.
Well. Yeah. I was like trying to remember, dude. I was like, dang. And
And
I knew
then
because I know he's like a skinny dude.
and then the first play of the second half, Fast Willie took it 79 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a hard one. And Sean Alexander was insane that year. I think he was MVP, wasn't he? I think
Mm-hmm.
Sean Alexander was MVP that year. That
Yeah,
was tough.
that's the year Matt Hasselback was lighting the world on fire too for some reason.
He somehow took all of the skills of his brother Tim
Yeah,
and then channeled it into one Hasselbeck for 1 year. And then he shaved it all off because he got that much older in that next year. And then the Seattle Seahawks were junk again. But
yeah.
I mean, okay, we all know that they've been a thorn in the Rams side. I actually started hating them more than the Patriots, the Russell Wilson era. But so that being said, you got the Steelers winning the Super Bowl. I got the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Everybody's going to say these are homer picks, but
They probably are. They probably are. But
the Rams could have been the number one team in the league if they would not have played the way they
right.
did.
That's all right. Last time the Steelers won the Super Bowl, we were the number 6 seed, so it doesn't matter. Hi, Kate. Or hi, you're late. I thought you said hi, I'm Kate.
Oh, he said hi. What's up, Mr. Ruthless? Welcome to the
Mr.
show.
Ruthless.
You just missed. We just went through our brackets. We're going to be getting into best ball rankings real fast. I'm going to give out my fantasy football awards, and we're going to be talking a little bit about UFC and just talking about the card because in 2 weeks we're going to be live next week with the Fight Club of Pain. We'll talk about this show. We'll talk about the next round of the playoffs, divisionals, and then we'll also add in a little more talk about UFC 324. But you will get your UFC 324 bets, the parlay of pain, and everything will be on the Fight Club of Pain in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. So that's what it's all about. But practically, Dan's got the Steelers going all the way to the Super Bowl. I got the Rams going all the way to the Super Bowl. I think that the brackets are just fun to fill out. You never know who's going to be right. You never know who's going to be wrong. That's the story of the NFL.
I'm not going to lie. I'm probably wrong because the Steelers aren't the best team in the league right now.
But you know what? You also talked about a pathway to victory. And just like in the UFC, if there's a pathway to success, it can happen.
Yeah.
And they showed it, like you said, when you guys were the 6th seed and you won that Super Bowl.
Mr. Ruthless wants to hear our opinion on the Chargers and the Patriots again.
Chargers and Patriots. I picked the Chargers. Dan took the Patriots. We think that this game is going to go under. They have the game projected at, what was it, 46 point, I got it right here, 46.5. I actually think that game's going to go under. Dan thought that that game was going to go under. So if you want to look at it, you could probably say Chargers 27, Patriots 20.
Or the other way around.
Yep. Yep. Dan's got Patriots winning 27. I got Chargers winning, or Chargers scoring 20 then. So for us, that was a little something. You could also go back and watch this too, Mr. Ruthless. You can, when we're done, you can hit back and then you can pop in there and you can do that. So, just to hear it again and hear the depth in the running backs and talking about the different angles and how I feel the Chargers linebackers, one of them being one of my boys, Diane Henley, that guy right there, he's a wrecking ball. He's one of the key components to stopping Hunter Henry. And I think Diggs will be, but I think Pop Douglas, I think all the rest of the receivers, their inability is going to come out in this game. And that's why. But I mean, Dan thinks that Drake May is the MVP. So he's going to MVP his ass right to the next round. that was our.
Oh man, and you can't say that because I don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Patriots.
That's what you get. All right, let's throw some best ball projections. These are my top 5 best ball projections. You go to DraftKings, you hit the best ball tab, you draft your team, you pick these players, you make sure that players, and that's correct.
And it is what it is. I mean, Myles Garrett is going to be the defensive MVP because people laid down for him.
Yeah. I mean, he broke the record. He's gonna get that this year. And I also honestly thought, I think I had Watt last year. No, I had somebody else. Well, I nailed the rookie defensive player of the year, but it was kind of where one of those things to where I didn't think Duty was going to win.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's Denver's cornerback. Their super cornerback.
Surtain.
Patrick Surtain being an idiot. Dang, so much UFC football going on. So yeah, that's what, when he won it, I was like, what? I thought I had my preseason betting article was like on fire. And then that one this year, injuries.
We believe you too. Stafford does deserve it more, but I think he lost it with that Seahawks game.
Yep. So yeah, that's something you missed too. Dan, we could go read it. So people, we got, of course, this is a live show for anybody re-listening to this on an audio format. So people are asking. Dan, go ahead. You said it was the Seahawks game, man. I agree.
Yeah, I think it was the interceptions in the Seahawks game that lost him that MVP.
Right. And then I'll even say, if you want to go back to the Carolina game, the Carolina loss and Seahawks game being so close together. That's the tough part for me. I agree with you. I'm still taking Stafford.
I still hope he gets it. I do. I hope he gets it. But
all right, let's go. MVP.
I think I think Drake May is going to get it because of politics, not because he's the better quarterback.
All right. Well, let's get through these best ball top 5. So quarterback, you're picking. Now remind you, where you're picking in your best ball draft is exactly where you need to think about where you're picking these guys. I've got Allen 1, Stafford 2, May 3, Lawrence 4, Purdy 5. Because I love the way Purdy can put up those points. Yes, Purdy put up 6 points last game, but in his previous game, he had 44 points DFS wise. In the previous game before that, I think he was around 30 some points. So once he lays that on and that team is clicking and you can't cover Christian McCaffrey, that team's just going to score like that. And that's why I got Purdy as my 5th ranked quarterback. Wide receiver, do you have a problem with any of those top 5?
Me?
Yeah, just in those top 5. I was just saying, do you think that's a solid top 5 out of all the quarterbacks? Because all the quarterbacks can be picked, even Darnold, because he's on a bye week, though. So that's how best buy. Your team's on a bye. You just got to wait.
I mean, I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers than Brock Purdy.
Okay. I'm fine with that, too. That's it. So you would swap Rodgers for Purdy. I've got
Yeah.
no problem. It was hard to like pick around that level. I mean, that was where I was going to start looking at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts should probably be somewhere up there, but it's like
Yeah.
I trust Lawrence more than Hurts to have a big game because of just how, even though that game could shoot out, this is NFL football, man. So I'm just
Yeah,
going with hard those
You
games.
never know what's going to happen.
You gotta have a defense, man. NFL playoff football is different than seasonal games. You get some blowouts, but you don't get many blowouts.
Yeah.
All right, wide receivers. I got Nakua at 1, Collins at 2, AJ Brown 3, McMillan 4, and Odunze at 5. Do you like all those guys?
Hey, you think Nico Collins is going to burn the secondary of the Steelers, don't you?
I do think Nico Collins is going to break loose on one of those passes, dude. He is a sick effing dude, bro.
I think JPJ is going to lock him down.
But do you think they're going to move JPJ out? I mean, JPJ is more than nickel, right?
No, JPJ plays man coverage most of the time. But if he's on the right side of the left side, if he's on the left side, then JPJ is going to cover him. If he's not,
okay,
somebody else will.
Yeah, because I wasn't really counting on Jalen Noel, and the thing is like going back to Dalton. We'll get to the tight ends, but Dalton Schultz is going to be one of them too because your linebackers are good, but they're great tacklers sometimes. But great tacklers like Patrick Queen, he's a great tackler.
Yeah,
but he
can't cover. Can't cover.
So that's why having the Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry sets are going to be hard for you guys to cover. So that's when your safeties are going to have to cheat up a little bit because they're going to have to help them, the linebackers out. That's when you're going to hope that, you get back there and you get a little rattled. So I like it. Was there anybody else that you stuck out? Do you like? Do you agree with what you say?
Did you say Dobbs?
I did not say Dobbs. I didn't pick any of the Green Bay receivers because I think they're too muddled. They muddle each other. But okay. Dobbs is solid.
I like Dobbs. That's the only one I would switch on there. I'd put Dobbs in the top 5.
Okay. I mean, McMillan, why I'm picking him is because, he's going to be offensive rookie of the year and also like just his big playability, the way he was able to get the ball against the Rams, and the Rams are susceptible like you guys in the secondary at time. So that's one of those guys that just can get that ball done. But really, honestly, I don't trust Bryce Young at all, man. That dude's a joke. Literally went in, had 2 bad games in a row, and then lost. And then because of Atlanta winning, gets in the playoffs. Like you were just saying, like, I'm not playing that game. We're not playing that game, bro.
Yeah, I'd rather see Tampa Bay in that game.
I thought that was what I was still taking the Rams over that game. But I thought Tampa Bay would have been a better matchup.
I think it would have been a better game.
Yeah, because Mike Evans would have freaking destroyed our secondary. Woo! And then, man, our nickel cover, Godwin would have been eating on him, man. Yeah. So that would have been a hard one. And then the Rams were pretty good. I would say we're pretty good against the run. But then Bijan Robinson tore us up on that Monday night, and I'm like,
well, Bijan kills everybody, man.
Yeah, he does.
Bijan kills every defense.
Let's talk about running backs now. Since we're talking about running backs, these are my top 5 running backs for best ball in the playoffs. Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, Travis Etienne. This right here is going to be something that everybody's going to be a little thrown off. And I get it for the first round, but he will get stronger as the playoffs go on if they keep winning. It's Josh Jacobs, and as my 5th ranked running back, Kenneth Gainwell. Dan, talk about it.
I like it. I like everything that every pick that you had. Because
now, why I didn't go on?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I didn't put Saquon in there.
No, he hasn't had a great year, man. He really hasn't.
Go on.
But I really like the Gainwell addition. I'm just not being a homer, but he's one of the best receiving running backs in the league.
I think he had 74 receptions this year.
Yeah,
that was around
and And the best catch of the year.
Yeah, I'll give you that too. He's and that's why I brought up the questionable Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren used to be your third down running back.
Mm-hmm.
Now they just want him to just grind in the middle, and he does. He's, a lot of people go back to the game that Gainwell blew up in. There was a 25, 26-yard run that got called back for offensive holding that Jalen Warren had. So a lot of people got to remember that Jalen Warren had some bad luck in that game with a couple offensive holds, especially that one that negated what he did. I think he had a catch negated too in that game. So for me, that right there alone tells me that you're the first and second down round back, but the minute it needs to come to a passing down, Kenneth Gainwell is in there. Now, for a whole best ball format, people are going to go, all right, well, why would I pick Gainwell if he's only going to play one round? Because with best ball, you got to move on. The top winner only moves on to the next round. So you need all your points right now. So you're literally saying if Gainwell can move on, great. If he doesn't, you should definitely get enough catches, receptions. They have his receptions at 4 right now, and I think the receptions at 4 was a plus 210, something like that. It was right around there. So for me, if I'm going to look at that, sports books are looking at that. Gainwell's getting 4 catches. If they're losing this game, they're going to need more. I don't think you guys are going to be able to run up the middle with Will Anderson there. I don't think that's going to be able to happen. And I mean, and he's not the only one there either, man. I mean, both him and I'm having the massive brain fart today. But
I'm not saying Houston has the best defense in the league. Best defense in the league.
Yeah, I've said that for years as well too.
But they have lost many games. They are on a wild card team. They did not win their division.
That is the key.
They have lost games.
And the reason why they've lost those games is because of the offense's ineptitude. So their inability to be able to score points consistently has put that defense on the field for way too long and has left them wide open. So for me,
sounds like the Steelers.
You guys say you said they play one good round, though.
Who?
The Steelers. You said they play one good half of football, but last week they played a little more than that.
No, they played one good half. They only scored 3 points in the first half. They played one good half of football.
I was getting you into that one, man. That's what makes this podcast so fun. Is like, we some homer kind of guys, but in the end, we do know that our teams have flaws and that they can be easily exploited. So for me,
the second half of the game, the Steelers are the best team in the league. The first two quarters, they're the worst team in the league. So
yeah,
we have to weigh it out.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's one of those things that like once they catch on, they kind of go into it, and then they kind of get there. So for me, I just like the hard-nosedness of that football team, the way that it likes to be strong and continue its own kind of ways. So for me, I like what you guys are doing, and I feel that this leads to why Gainwell is a huge, huge, huge addition for you guys because, again, you picked him up. He came in. You said all year long he looked like the best running back in that system, and now he's proving that every single moment. And the other guy I was looking for was Daniel Hunter. I don't know why I'm having this kind of a day. I must have taken too many hits last night. So Hunter and Anderson up in there. And this is an IDP hero here. I'm just all day. I did have a good night fighting, though. That was fun. So anyway, let's move along to tight end. I got Kittle, Loveland, Schultz, Parkinson, Jonnu Smith. I think those are the 5 you should target.
Whoa, you picked Jonnu over Freiermuth.
I did because if you notice, your boy Arthur Smith loves to run Jonnu Smith out the backfield like he a running back. So
6 times. He only did it 6 times this year.
But he's done it recently, and he scored a touchdown, that Jonnu rushing touchdown. That pissed
Yeah.
me off too. But he's got that too. He did it last game too. So I'm counting that as one touch. So that's like a catch. So I feel that between the two, you're going to get Fryermuth around 4 or 5 targets. You're going to get Smith around 4 or 5, but Smith is definitely in line to at least get one rush. He's sneaky. You guys brought him from Miami. In Miami, he would just constantly score those touchdowns. He's one of those guys that I think that sometimes Arthur Smith would get enthralled with Washington too much.
Yeah.
And try to just let Washington bowl his way down the field, whereas he had a skillful player like Jonnu Smith or Fryermuth that could have did it. So of those top 5, you'd put Fryermuth there. Is there anybody else you'd move? And talk about it.
Nah, I'd put Fryermuth in there because he's going to get a lot of targets because, like I said before, to the middle of the field of that Houston defense is their weakness.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers knows how to pick that apart. That's why Gainwell and a Pittsburgh tight end is going to be big because DK is going to be locked up with Stingley. So, that's going to be they could get kicked out. That could be a fight. DK could fight dude. So then I don't want to see that Steeler team again.
And we all know DK's batshit crazy. So
hell yeah. I mean, as long as he don't get ejected and then Stingley stays in, that's one of those things that goes on. So for me, I think it's good. I think Schultz also is going to have an advantage against that. We talked about that when we covered the Houston and Steeler game. So for me, that game right there, but you can go grab one of those tight ends. The reason why I say Jonnu Smith at 5 is I'm not telling you to pick him 5th overall in the first round. I'm telling you to pick him last because he's going to be there. So if this is a best ball format, he could slide into your flex if he gets a touchdown, 3 catches, 30 yards, and a 4-yard rush. And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm looking for. This is best ball. One and done, then you're out. We're figuring out some other stuff. That's why maybe you want to go AJ Barner for Seattle. That's a strategy that people use with best ball. They'll grab the second round tight end that has a bye. So now you have 2 tight ends. One goes out or both go on. You have 2 chances to go on to the championship games. And that's kind of a technique people use with the best ball because there's so many techniques. Look at who you're going to win, who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, and then you kind of try to get them to get there. So if on my standing, I got Bills and Rams, you're going to want people like Josh Allen and Puka, and you're not going to get them. The best you're going to get is maybe Josh Allen and then Devontae Adams because James Cook and Puka aren't going to make it to you. So therefore, you're either going to do that or you're going to go Puka and try to get Matt Stafford. But in a lot of the best ball drafts that I've had on DK, Stafford's going in the first round, if not early in the second round. So you really got to watch when you're doing these drafts, the snakiest of it, that if you're going to build a team, then you got to build it. But the best part about playoff best ball is next week it restarts again, but your other team's still going. So by the end of the playoffs, I have probably 3 rounds of best ball teams going for it. So just gives you a chance to be a chameleon, Yeah, go with the flow. So even if you're wrong, you can recenter your team and choose it again. So that's where it kind of works. Here's your DFS defenses, top 5. Rams, Houston, Bills, Eagles, Steelers. Why'd the Steelers make the top 5? That's the reason.
No one knows. Because of me?
What you said about Houston and what we were talking about CJ Stroud and not being trustful. CJ Stroud goes in there and throws up one of those 220, 1 touchdown, 1 interception game. That's a Steeler game. And we all know Steeler games are heart attack games. So
every one of them.
So that'll give you a little DFS exclusive for this weekend on the Ultra Contrarian show. So I know that this show's been running about an hour, and we're gonna run through a few of the fight predictions and stuff like that. But let me give you. I'm not going to give out much to talk on the Fantasy Football 2026 awards. Quarterback Josh Allen. A lot of people are going to take Drake May. I get it, Drake May, but Josh Allen put up like 50 points some weeks, 40 points some weeks. He was just, I get May was consistent more out through the season. And I look back to that Josh Allen game against the Eagles and how he barely got enough points to be fantasy relevant. But the point is great players find a way to get themselves fantasy relevant. Also, Josh Allen just had hard games. Like he had, that Browns game, that was atrocious for him. I mean, he was like, oh, Josh can play in snow. Great. And then he goes to, you like, then he should be good in Cleveland. Nah, he was trash in Cleveland. So again, I'm giving it to Allen. Allen, again, it's a homer pick. Number one fantasy player all season long. Right there, number one. Two, since I drafted Josh Allen 8 years ago, I have not paid for my league. I've said this thousands of times this year. I've not paid for my league in 8 years and just won my third championship. Josh Allen. That's why he's that. Running back, Christian McCaffrey, hands down, best running back all year long. This was really hard because for me, I go, how did you play in the playoffs? That's a big question for me in the fantasy football playoffs. And Bijan Robinson was lights out against the Rams. If you need to get to a championship game, that 62 points really helped. So for me, that's what got that. Wide receiver, Puka Nacua, number one, JSN, number two. You could flip-flop either or. JSN may have been a little more consistent, but Puka ended up with the better numbers. Again, you could say, for me, another homer pick, but not for me. He had the stats to prove it. He was dominant. Even when he came out, there was a couple games he was injured in and came out for practically a half and then came back in, or a quarter and came back in. Those were other balls, other stats that he would have got and widened that gap and had more points. And by the way, he catches that ball at the end of the game and they call that a catch. There's a lot of people that think that was a catch before it slipped out of his hand. We could have won that game.
Yeah.
So that to me shows he puts himself in a position to win that game. Tight ends, McBride, number one by far. McBride was like top 4 period in the one league. And everybody's going to go Kyle Pitts. That's my runner up. But I'm going to say Juwan Johnson actually tied him. Pitts had some big games. Juwan Johnson, just like you could say JSN, was kind of just there all the time, always getting the ball. And Juwan Johnson being, for the Saints, he was very solid in your fantasy football playoffs as well, too. He started every game for my fantasy football playoffs. I ran him and Harold Fannin doubled up because it was also the tight ends got an extra 0.25 for the reception. So you could say it was a tight end premium league. But for me, Fannin and Johnson were doing it. I wanted Fannin to be here. I just think Fannin didn't get enough preseason or early season work because of, David Njoku. And then by the time Fannin got in there, he just proved he was better. And defense, Vikings, Seattle. Seattle's probably the best fantasy football defense that a lot of people look at. But depending on your league scoring, the Vikings edged Seattle in one league and by a little bit more. It was probably like 10 or 15 points. But then in another one of my leagues, Seattle was 1 and the Vikings were 4th. So again, this is to your leagues. But for my leagues, my stats, for the most what I saw, the Vikings were up there. They were also sleepy. No one was thinking the Vikings. And the Vikings are one of the teams that helped me get to the fantasy football championship when they shut down Jackson Dart. And then kicker, I'll throw this in, Jason Myers, best. He was like 220 points in my one league. Kayem Fairbairn, he was like second. He was like 30 points away or something like that. That's a Houston kicker. Of course, those are my fantasy football MVPs for this season. Dan, do you disagree with any of that?
I do not. I like all of those picks.
I was trying to get James Cook in there because James Cook was really good.
But really good. I mean, he won the rushing title this year, right?
Yeah. And that's another thing too, is it was hard to turn that away. I mean, people go, well, look at the fantasy stats, but this guy in a season bunch had more yards. So did he have more touchdowns? Who knows? But he had a lot of great games with touchdowns. You know that for a fact because he was part of my 3-headed Hydra on my team that won that championship.
Your cheating ass team.
He was cooking, man. All right, brother, man. We got all in. Everybody, you got that? All right. I'm going to do the NFL bets, and we're going straight into UFC, and then we'll be out of here. This will be your preview. Next week, we'll do a little more preview for UFC 324, and we'll also cover the games. We could probably button up, but I think this is about a good amount of time. So let's just run down the card. And so Dan asked a question. This is your question. How many finishes or decisions do you think that this card has? Do you want me to give me mine first? Because you asked me.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I think there's going to be 6 decisions in 8 finishes. That's what I'm going for, people. You know it's coming down. That's what it's going to be about, man. Dan, hit it.
All right. So we got what? 13, 14
Unless-
fights. We got 14 fights. I think there's going to be 9 finishes.
9 finishes. Okay, there was one finish. There was one fight. One fight. I'll say it. I'll say it. No, I won't. Because that's the fight we're talking about. That's one of the fights we're talking about on the show in 2 weeks.
So I think there's only going to be 5 decisions on this whole card.
Dude, that's sickening. We're so close. I thought you were, man, I thought I was going to be around 12 finishes.
Yeah, so, when I was looking at it, I thought it was going to be like 12. But
you're like, Rob's going to pick 12 finishes.
Yeah. I was like, I'll go with 9. I got 6 knockouts and 3 subs happening.
All right. I got, so I didn't actually do that part because I was trying to stay away from that. That I could probably answer that one next week. But I do know that there's definitely some knockouts that are going to be happening. One of the fights that that knockout is going to happen in and is definitely going under is Ataba Gautier versus Andre Pulev. This fight's going under 100%. That's one of my knockouts. That had to be one of your knockouts.
Yeah, I counted that as one of my knockouts.
Pulev won us money last time.
He did. I don't see him taking the power of Gautier.
And that's the thing too is Pulev tries to go into those fights. He's not really so much a ground guy. So for me, when I'm looking at all that, it's like you don't defend. You have no accuracy for takedown. So that means you have to stand toe to toe with frickin' the Hulk. Well, it's towards Finney's the Hulk. We'll call Gautier Thanos of the UFC.
Just Staffles. Oh man. But
that's how fast the fight's gonna be over.
Yeah. But so starting in 2 weeks, we get the soup can segment, right?
Yep. So in 2 weeks, that's gonna be something new. If none of you messed it or you're new to the Fight Club of Pain, Dan will, instead of doing a writing article, he's gonna be giving out his soup can of the week on the actual show. So I love that. I love that a lot. I will tell you, you know what? I'll tell you the fight. Sean O'Malley and Yadong. I picked that to go a decision or we would be both 9-5. That's the one.
I counted that as a decision also.
Okay. And so right there, I was wondering about that. So this is kind of like one of those things that like, it just was, it spells decision, doesn't it? It just seems like Yadong just won his money. Malley's kind of that guy that doesn't get finished off. And I mean, Valshvili finished him, but the other time he didn't. So this is, and he's geared to go the distance, but you agreed with that. So what was your theory on that?
I think it's just going to be a strikers special in that fight. I think those two are just going to stand and bang, and whoever's stronger is going to win.
I agree. Or who's ever slicker. So, I mean, I have O'Malley winning that, of course. I think O'Malley's going to win. And that's probably something I shouldn't even be telling any of y'all, but I will give it that. Probably not.
Probably not.
When we have that show, believe me, I'm going to have me some finish bets, and we're going to hit them. and I'll have something. So for me, if we feel that way, then the books should be feeling that way when we get closer to the event, right?
Yeah, but a lot of the time we see different than the books do, man. We see
Oh
a
yeah,
lot different than the books do.
and that's what makes us great. That's what's given us our sauce. So you asked another question. What is the fight that you want to see the most? So I'll go first since you brought this to the table. This was hard for me because it's going to come back. His comeback is coming back and he's going to win. But the fight I want to see the most is Waldo Cortez Acostas versus Derek Lewis.
The fight we called, the fight we said should happen is happening.
Yes, we did. Dana
Yeah,
White listened to us.
that is just a lot of man meat. Two big meaty men slapping meat. That's what's gonna happen.
They're just gonna go right in the middle of the ring and just slap the shit out of each other, man.
Yeah, there's gonna be no takedowns. There's gonna be nothing. It's just two big dudes just throwing ham hocks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
and we all know that Derek Lewis can knock out. Well, okay, so WCA had even in his loss recently, not his last match. Last match, of course, he won, but in his loss, everybody thought he was gonna get finished, and he did not. He did not get finished. That was, of course, that was the not the Delija fight because he beat Delija and he beat Gaziev, but it was the Pavlovich, Sergey Pavlovich versus Akostas. That went decision. I thought Pavlovich would have knocked him out. We did pick Pavlovich in that fight.
yeah,
He won, but he took a lot of punishment in that fight.
yeah, yeah. He did, and this is the fight that they needed to make in the heavyweight division. This is the funnest fight in the heavyweight division because I really don't care what any of the champs doing. I don't care what the number two guy's doing.
Yep.
None of that even tickles my fancy right now. I don't. It does nothing for me. But that fight, this is the best fight in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, and so like Pavlovich, he beat WCA. He knocked out Derek Lewis. I think I saw that Pavlovich is due up next for a title shot. I thought that I heard rumblings after Gagne and all that stuff gets up there. I've heard Pavlovich is kind of getting next up. And I was like,
I don't know. I hope Gagne or Cyril Gain kicks rocks, man. I hope. I'm tired of seeing. I'm done with him. I'm tired of seeing him fight for titles.
Yeah, yeah. We were hoping that Aspinall would have took him out there, but he didn't. He didn't just end the whole gone stuff. So that being said, what's your fight that you were looking forward to?
I'm excited to see the woman's GOAT come back. Amanda Nunes fight Kayla Harrison. I'm excited for that fight.
What excites you the most? That Nunez is coming out to fight like the Hulk woman, or that
I'm excited to see the woman that knocked out everyone she's faced fight the wrestler who just ragdolls everyone she faces.
Yep. That's about it. I mean, if you go back to the Pena fights, them both splitting between Nunez and Pena, and then Pena already trying to say, "Oh, I want to do it again." It almost like say they want part 3 of that match. But Pena versus Nunez, but like people, it's just like, so we're just going to count Harris now?
Nah, whoever wins this fight, I think fights Shevchenko because Shevchenko wants to move up and fight.
Okay. But do you think that do you think that that's going to be a problem size-wise for Bullet?
No, she's already done it once, and she's also moved down once. So,
yeah.
I mean, she's so good, though. I mean, it doesn't matter what weight class. She might lose some speed, but she's not going to lose anything else.
Yeah, so practically, if she faces Harrison, you don't think that Harrison would be able – I don't think she'll be able to outpower her. Do you think? Or do
Oh
you
yeah,
think that?
I think Kayla Harrison's a grown man, and I think she would. I think she would slam her, but every fight starts on the feet.
Yeah, yeah. And Shevchenko is crisp everywhere.
Yes.
So, you got flaws, she doesn't. You're really strong at grappling, but she can still handle with you.
Yeah.
So that would be a hell of a fight to watch. Now, Shevchenko versus Nunez. That's a striker match.
It's already happened twice.
Yeah.
They already fought twice, and they split. They didn't fight both times in the UFC. They fought once somewhere else, and they fought once in the UFC.
Mhm.
Nunez won by decision in the UFC.
Mhm.
Shevchenko won by decision outside of the UFC before they came, so that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
But I would love to see it again. They're both older. They're both kind of leaving their prime. No one knows what Amanda Nunes is going to look like when she steps in the octagon. She has not fought in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one thing that never leaves is power.
Yeah. That you're correct about that. That only gets better with age.
Yeah, one thing that never leaves you is power, and it only takes one shot. Look what she did to Cyborg.
Woo! And Cyborg's good. Cyborg just won again.
She hasn't lost since that Nunes fight. She's undefeated since that Nunes fight.
That's insane, dude. That's why I love you so much, man. I was like, for a lot of people that are new to the Fight Club of Pain and people that are watching and everything like that, and we do thank you. This is why Dan is awesome, because like I didn't know that they fought, because I didn't watch the UFC. I've been up football's ass and MLB's ass for so long. And for me, that's where Dan's strong point is the UFC. So I was like, damn, I had to go check. I was like, I went back and looked at that, and it just made me want to watch it now, because I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind seeing that. All right. So let's say somehow Pena ends up with the belt. Shevchenko Pena.
Shevchenko just does what she does. She points her to death. She she GSPs her.
Yeah.
She's so good that it's boring sometimes.
Yeah. So practically, we'll say it like this: Pena loses to Shevchenko.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison has to completely rely on her wrestling and strength to hold Bullet down. And that might not happen, but that would be the only play. And then we, of course, have the striking ability of Nunez. And then I would say, of course, the grappling I would definitely give to the Shevchenko side. I mean, they both know each other. So
well, everybody forgets Nunez is a BJJ black belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's not a slouch on the ground either.
Yeah. So of the two, this is going to be very hard. Who's the harder opponent, Harrison or Nunez?
To fight, like for any woman? Oh, for Shevchenko. I think Harrison would be, because she doesn't know her. She's never fought her. I think they know her and Nunez know each other's style and know how they fight. So I think I think that might be. It wouldn't be easy, but it would be easier than fighting Kayla Harrison. And like I said before, I don't think Kayla Harrison's that good. I think she's strong.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She's the female Brock Lesnar.
There it is. So practically, we're not going to give out any picks on that fight, but you could kind of see how we broke that fight down in the way that we went, in the kind of how we went about it. I loved what we did right there. This is a little bit about where this fight's going to go next, but it's also about what the action's going to take place in this fight. I can't wait to get a piece of this, man. 2 weeks, man. You were just like, it's next week. I was like, man, it's another week, bro. And you were like, no, man, next week. I was like,
I said it again. I said it again today. It's next week.
No, I was like January 24th. Because it's been too long. I was talking to this dude that came through for TJ's Plumbing here in Erie, and I was like, dude, he was like, that's what I told you got us talking. Is he was like, man, it's been too long without fights. And I was like, man, I agree with you, man. I am hungry. But you know,
Yeah,
I dig that, man. And this card is going to be truly amazing, only to be followed up by UFC 325, which is going to be just as
which is
good. But I think this
crazy.
one has more power.
Yeah, and I love the Justin Gaethje Patty Pimblett fight, man. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. And you know my boy Gene Silva on it. You know my boy Gene
Yeah,
Silva.
Gene Silva's
So
on it. He's fighting Arnold Allen too. Arnold Allen's a bad dude.
see,
Thug
I have
Roses.
not heard a lot about Arnold Ironin.
Thug Roses fighting. Uh,
Yeah,
Umar Nurmagomedov versus Dustin Figueiredo. Man, that's going to be a banger.
dude.
And my boy that won Soup Can of the Year, Michael Johnson, is back.
Woo-wee. And on the main card. Well, I don't. There wasn't even early prelims. Prelims. It's just all one card now. They
No,
got
he's
rid of
on the
that.
he's on the prelims.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I went to their website and they just had everybody right down. It did. I was because what I was remember I was trying to look. I went to look for early prelims, and they were just like, "Huh?" And I was like, all right. Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
looked at the fight. The fight. What do you want to call it? Fight schedule. I haven't looked at the fight schedule yet. I just kind of go off of what they got on here, and it's wrong. It's wrong
Yeah.
sometimes. Usually the sports books have what you need for that. So
And then like you were saying, 325. We got Volkan Lopez again, which is unneeded, but that it's not needed. You like Diego Lopez. Volk's
I
one of my
do.
favorite. Volk's one of my favorite fighters. We got Hooker and Saint Denis fighting,
Mhm.
and we got Rafael Fiziev coming back and fighting Mauricio Rufy.
Yeah, Roofy with the new thing. And Fiziev, that fight could get fight of the night.
Yeah,
But that also depends if it stands up because Roofy got schooled last time. He got
yeah,
schooled on the ground. That was
yep.
horrible.
And Fiziev is a BJJ black belt, so
Mhm. And Fiziev, like I said, he trained pre. And so pre, talk about Fiziev and his strengths and kind of like the striking and stuff like that. Like, dude, he's not going to stop attacking. And
no,
Roofy's kind of, I would say of the two, Fiziev's probably going to have more strikes because of the way he works. But I don't think he's going to need more strikes because he's going to probably want to shoot and take this down so that he can take advantage of what Roofy got exposed for last time.
yeah. But Rufy has that one punch knockout power, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and you know me, ex fighting nerd, Roofy definitely can knock him out. But Fiziev's hard to knock out. So this
Yeah,
it feels like that this fight, I can't wait to break that fight down because
I
that
mean,
fight's gonna take a lot.
Fiziev took a beating from Justin Gaethje in that fight, and he didn't fall once. So I think Gaethje punches harder than Rufy. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. I mean, Gaethje and Fiziev just have that little stocky little guy body, and they can take hits. So, I mean,
yeah,
even when you look at it, when Fiziev lost to Gamrot by knockout, so he has been knocked out, but Gaethje, he was beating the hell out of him near the end of that round. Or at the end of the fight, he got through him. But then Fiziev pops in, goes up against Bahamundes. Bahamundes, a great, great, great striker, and he got through him. He got the decision, so he can do that with Roofy. So
yeah,
I
I
do.
agree. I agree. That's going to be. I think, like you said, that might be fight of the night.
Yeah, and then you got Taya Tuivasa probably getting beat down by Taliesin Teixeira.
Yeah,
Open
but
Elliott. Go on.
two of us is always fun to watch, man. Two of us, he's the light skinned Derek Lewis, man.
And I'm gonna love that right there. I mean, Teixeira, he really got exposed last time, so he's gonna need to say up. We got Junior Taffa versus Billy Alacana, Con Offley versus Yuza, and then Jimmy Crute and Justin Jacoby. That fight's a little weird. Those dudes are just like wild dudes, but Crute has been on a tear.
I like Jimmy Crute, man. I like
I
Jimmy
mean,
Crute.
I liked him too last time when he got that first round submission versus Urslan. That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I like Crute, man, and I really like the Dan Hooker Saint Denis fight too.
Yeah. He's not going to beat the daylights out of Hooker. He's going to try to take him down the way he did Roofy.
Yeah, but Dan Hooker, he's on the back. He's on the back half of his career.
Yeah.
I like Dan Hooker. He's always down to bang, but he's just not the same fighter he was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. So, another fight that's intriguing too is Quillen Salkid, who we brought up as one of the possible rookies of the year.
Yeah.
Rong Zhu is a guy that goes the distance. Salkid's going to be trying to knock him out. So that's another one of those great fights. You got Cam Roston versus Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage is always in those fights. So I like that fight as well too. And we got our boy Torres Fitty versus Jacob Malkoon.
Yeah.
Of any of the fights, which one kind of sticks out to you, or just the power of each one?
Yeah, I like the Cody Brundage Cam Roston fight, man.
Yeah.
Cody Brundage, he's kill or be killed. That's just who he is. He's 11-7-1, which means he loses just as much as he wins. He's not. He's never gonna be a champ in the UFC, but he's always entertaining.
Yeah. What's up, Ashley? We saw you pop in.
How you doing?
That's good. We're just sitting here going through UFC 325. We're ending the show pretty soon, but we're just kind of giving a little bit of talk. Next week, we'll be back covering the divisional round, giving all the same things that we gave today, same format, but we'll be closer to 324. So we'll do a little bit of that and then get some talking. But dude, you want to talk about some soup cans? Song Woo Kim versus Dom Morfan. Kiichiro Nakamura versus Sebastian Shazla.
Which card you on?
I'm on 325.
You're on 325.
Sulong Bo versus Lawrence Liu.
Oh yeah.
And then Aaron. I was so sad. I can't even say Aaron anymore. Aaron
Tao, yeah.
Versus Nasrai Batiba.
Yeah, I know some of them. I don't know a lot about these guys, but I'm sure I'm gonna learn.
Dude, this guy has a face tattoo. Tua has a face tattoo.
Oh yeah,
this is gonna be great, dude. Who gets the face tattoo right here? What do you just go? What's that? You're like, dude. You know what's even funnier? Are you still looking at that?
Yeah, I was
Does that TR look like Lou?
Yeah.
What is this? We got some soup. Dude, Kiichiro Nakamura. That looks like a 12-year-old boy. He looks like a 12-year-old boy. And I'm sorry if any of y'all fans out there, every once in a while, we like to get crazy, have fun, give fighters names and talk a little junk on them. But man, I don't know, dude. Are you a little worried for this guy?
A little bit, but he is 7-1.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently he's good for his strikes. He goes about 5.22 significant strikes landed. He absorbs 3.39. Rolling over to the Sebastian Sisley side, we're looking at 4.25, but a 1.27. So then that means
he
the
got better defense.
Yeah, he does. So he's probably more like this. So when Dan and I go and do the actual fight tape, we will not be including any of these fights in our show for 325. But you might get one of them in my five-tastic picks because I love finishes, and these 4 fights right here scream finish right from the goal. Like I want pieces of that.
Yeah, because these are all new guys. They're all just going to be throwing hands, every one of them.
Yeah, but hey, maybe but I see that right there. I see his strike defense is 72%. His takedown defense is 85%. Sisley is probably gonna walk through this dude. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's the best part about the UFC is you don't know. And you got fighters come from everywhere. And sometimes it's hard. And that's why you
Man.
need show.
So we're next or 2 weeks from now, are we doing the whole main card?
Yeah.
All five?
Yes. All five. All five for the main card. That's what we do.
Sounds
So
good.
and then of course, we always do the 5. So you're even for 325, you're getting Volkanovski versus Lopez. You're gonna get Hooker versus Saint Denis. You're gonna get Fiziev versus Rufy. I could skip the Teixeira fight if we wanted to do a couple other fights. Like I would do Jimmy Crute and Dustin Jacoby, and I would do Quillen Salkett and Raju, unless you want to trade in one of those for the Cody Brundage fight.
Yeah, we can do whatever, man.
So that's where you
I
get
can't
the
wait.
top 3 solid.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back at it.
I know, man. I miss so much about it, man. But we took a podcast, put up 96 minutes as of this second right now, and we gave out. I never gave out my bets. I never gave out my bets. So everybody that waited to the end of the show, now you get 18 bets from your boy. Heat Override.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, let's get it. So I'm not going to give out anything else. I will do the same thing next week. And all of the bets, I'm going to tell you round robin these. You're going to put some money on this. If you need help or questions answering to help do the round robin, use code word WIN, get over to Dr. Roto, and you will be not only our rich friend, because we'll have the right cure for your fantasy season when you win this money. This is who we're going to be going with. I got Rams, Packers, Bills, 49ers, Patriots, and Texans winning in this round. That is a plus 2688 6-leg parlay. Let's get it. Now, if you go with Dan's, you're going to probably be around the same level because he's got the Steelers winning, which are a big dog. So he's probably going to go up to plus 3,200. But he has the San Francisco, not the 49ers losing, and that's a plus 188 coming out for a negative 115. So you're going to be about the same. So I think if you listen to earlier in this show and you take Dan's 6 first legs, you're going to get that. I think we were even on everybody else. Well, no. So for this, I picked the Patriots.
You picked the Patriots on this one?
I did pick the Patriots for the 6th line, but I picked the Chargers for my bracket.
Gotcha.
So honestly, I should have probably changed out the Chargers for the Patriots. I'll make that. So people, there you go. There's another. Take out the Patriots and put the Chargers and have some more money, right? Go along to the next one. Anytime touchdown. Devontae Adams, negative 145. He is the number 1 touchdown for that game. And because they know he's going to be getting looks. Josh Jacobs. Nobody's going to be thinking about Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs. This goes with that. James Cook, negative 165. Christian McCaffrey, negative 140. Of course, these are all numbers of today, but may have changed by now. Hunter Henry, plus 165. He does get open, and he will get that touchdown. And Kenneth Gainwell, plus 200 for a plus 65.57. I can't wait to round robin that. Dude, if that would hit with a round robin, I think off of it's $5.60. I could probably win like $500. Probably $500 easy. All right, let's move along to something I like to do. Now, again, you get into the subs only Discord at Dr. Roto. You get these bets. I'm not going to have a betting article at all. Everything's going in the subs only Discord. That's why you got to be there. And that's how I'm going to form all these. Plus, you get lose bets. You get everybody else's bets. Jalen Coker, 3 receptions, negative 250. Roma Dunze, plus 3 receptions, negative 62. Brenton Strange, 3 receptions, negative 245. I do like. It was also a negative 245. Travis Etienne, 2 catches was a negative 245. I really liked that too. Goater +4 is kind of where they were kind of going, and I think his Goater's 4 was a negative 190. His 3 catches was a negative 490. I kind of wanted like something easy for this parlay, so I threw that in there. We got Lad McConkey, 3 receptions, negative 320. Jonnu Smith, 2 reception, negative 154. I think Jonnu easily gets that. Jonnu's 3 receptions was, I think, a plus 188. I love building that ladder right there. What did you think about those bets, Dan?
I like them, man. I like them.
That's a plus 731 parlayed. I know a lot of people out there are like, bro, you're crazy. A 731 6-leg parlay? I'm going to say no. But these parlays are made to be round robin so that you're either winning big, like I just said, or you're at least covering yourself, because there's a lot of these that are going to hit. And when they're parlayed together, they're going to become either negative 118s or plus 108s. And that's how you'll return your money. Dan, it's another great show.
It was fun. We'll have another one of these next week.
Yeah, yeah.
It's always
I don't
long.
think we'll go an hour and 40 minutes though.
It's always long now, man. What, last week we went 2 hours, didn't we? Almost.
Oh, it was about an hour and a half, you know. And the thing is I get that a lot of people don't like to hang out for a lot of these shows.
You stalled out, brother.
What do we got coming in? We just got somebody pop in. So for me, when I see this happening, the reason why these shows go long is there's just so much content. Next week,
yeah,
I can redo the best ball, but we're not going to have the fantasy football 2026 playoffs. We're not going to do our fight prediction next week. You have to listen to this podcast for that this week.
Yeah.
So when we go to next week, it'll definitely be shorter because we'll have less content to cover. But this was a big podcast because we had a lot to cover. A lot.
Yeah, we covered a good amount, man.
That was a lot of information, and I loved it. So, man. But damn, I ain't even got a beer yet, and I need one, and I'm gonna go crank one right now, and maybe we'll see each other tomorrow.
Yeah, probably.
All right, my brother.
Man.
Thanks again. And always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.